Welcome to Rick's Corner, brought to you by Old School Labs, the brand I trust and the only one I put my name to. Use my code drasin12 on the link below.
Welcome to Rick's Corner. The man, the myth, the legend. Now on with the show.
Welcome to Rick's Corner. Today I have Alex Ardenti back, who just finished producing a movie. And just to give you a little quick background on him, Alex has been a bodybuilder for years. And you competed as well?
Yes.
And you won as well?
As a teenager, Mr. Italy and Mr. Europe.
Amazing.
Long time ago.
Long time ago, but this still counts. And then you got into photography.
Yes.
And you just started shooting covers and articles for all the magazines.
Yep, I had 35 different magazines I was working for.
How many covers altogether?
More than 1,500.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a lot of covers.
That's when magazines really counted for something.
Yeah.
You know, the magazine world just represented all of fitness.
Yeah.
If you weren't in a magazine, you just didn't exist. Whether you were a company or a person, you know.
And you shot a lot of the big time bodybuilders.
Yep.
Most
Quite
of
a few. Most of them, yeah.
And a lot of the women.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I've seen your stuff is so good.
Thank you.
Well, then you decided to go into doing film, or we don't call it film, but it's actually video or whatever movie work.
Mm-hmm.
What inspired that?
Well, these magazines weren't being bought anymore from the common people, so the sales started going down. I started losing my income because I was a full-time magazine photographer.
Yeah.
I switched over to more advertising, but still print was just dying.
Right.
So I thought video was the future, so I just transitioned to doing commercials and filmmaking, which was my original passion. First of all, I just kind of got sidetracked with the fitness photography because I sent in some photos to Bob Kennedy, who had Oxygen and Muscle Mag.
Right.
He just gave me so much work that I just became a full-time fitness photographer.
Right.
So I kind of put the filmmaking off to the side. Then when magazines started going down, I just went back to the roots of filmmaking and video, as you call it.
You well, I don't know why I call it video, but I mean that's the old term for it.
We record now, we don't film.
Yeah,
I like the word film, though.
Yeah, well, there's some things are still shot in film.
Tarantino.
Yeah, Tarantino.
I think he's the only one.
Actually, I saw it in film. I couldn't tell the difference. But it is what it is. But you've done a lot of shooting of film with Rich Piana.
Yeah, I did his first videos.
You know what I like about those is the way you use the light.
Yeah, thank you.
It's very, very dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
Good quality, sharp and dark, and the lights are light, and it's just perfect.
Well, I shot it like an independent movie, so once you light it like a movie, I think it has more of a cinematic kind of look.
Where did you learn your lighting?
Just being on the set, really. Just doing commercials on not so much sitcoms and comedy specials, but commercials and feature films. I just noticed how these DPs were lighting things. They lit from the back. Everything was layered. It wasn't just like one spotlight on a face. Mm-hmm. Everything was there for a reason. So I would just pick the brains of the DPs. Even as an actor, like, why is this guy asking me all these questions? But as a photographer, I was just really fascinated by how they lit. And I realized it's lighting, Yeah. Of course, it has to be in focus and the performance has to be there. But if the lighting is off, everything just looks like crap. So I learned just being on the set, really.
That's what my daughter does.
Yeah, she's amazing too.
She's really good.
Well, she's big time.
Well, all right. So now you came out with this movie called SUPPS.
Yes.
And there's quite a few of us in it.
He's the star.
And SUPPS is basically meaning supplements. Mm-hmm. And I watched it, and I really enjoyed it because there's so many supplements over the years that have come out and that have gone away. Mm-hmm. And then some stayed and some didn't, but all had their own value in a certain way at the time. But you went into depth about who had this and who had that and what worked and what didn't. It was a very intriguing movie.
Thank you. Well, I wanted to get the history right because no one's done a documentary on the history of sports supplements.
Yeah.
Period. I was looking for months before I started. So I wanted to get the chronology right. One brand inspired another one, and there were certain pioneers that really catapulted the whole industry that didn't exist before. Mm-hmm. It started with Rio Blair. You could say Sandow had his cocoa powder, and he was saying that kind of built his physique. But let's say it started from Rio Blair, who basically took Ovaltine and relabeled it and sold it to athletes.
Really?
Yeah, and John Bailey told me that. It was the commercial version of Ovaltine that he relabeled. It was basically a relabeling of Ovaltine.
No idea.
And they tweaked it a bit more higher in protein and everything else, but that's what it was. Then Joe Weider saw how much money REVOLVER was making, and he had the whole vehicle, he had the magazine. So once he started with the Weider Nutrition, that really exploded, and he basically created the industry, I think. And he had Hoffman with his knockout products, and which we talked about in the movie. Dan Lurie was trying to imitate, the California vibe and feel. But like Milo Sarchev said, Weider was always Weider,
Weider was always Weider, and he experimented before he went to manufacturing, like I said to you.
Yeah.
He'd put a product out there and advertise it, and then he'd try it, have people, if they liked it, then he'd start doing it.
Right.
Made sales. I never took his stuff.
It was very commercial, and it was the 70s, so the great isolate protein powder that we have now just didn't exist,
Right.
and
There was nothing.
no, it was whey powder. It wasn't really whey protein. It was just like powdered milk, basically.
I used to take milk, and I would add powdered milk to it to get the extra protein.
Right.
Didn't taste great, but so what?
A lot of lactose.
Yeah.
So if you're okay with that, sure. But most people, when you put that much lactose in
know.
your system,
I know.
strange things happen.
But Blair's
but it
protein,
progressed pretty quickly.
Blair's protein is still around.
I saw that. It's not.
It's
the
very
same.
expensive.
Yeah.
Just because it says Blair's on it.
Right.
But I don't even know how good that was. I mean, it was good at the time. I took it. I got it from Real Blair himself.
Yeah.
And I thought, as long as it's free, I'll take it.
Sure.
But there's a lot of people that have come out over the years with their own supplements.
Yes.
They get a name in bodybuilding, just not even a big name, but somewhat of a name. I'm going to have my own line of supplements. I said, why? Where are you going to market this? That's the hardest part.
Well, if you have a gazillion followers on Instagram, now you can pretty much sell anything to those people because they don't know. They're not that educated. There's no more magazines, and not many people will buy a product and research the product. They just love that person. So that person can sell anything to that crowd.
Yeah.
Whether it's an ebook that is 3 pages long or a supplement line. It depends.
That's interesting. Very interesting. Instagram does this, huh?
Yeah.
You think that's a good calling card for sales rather than Facebook?
I think so. Instagram compared to Facebook? Oh, it's like night and day. Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah, mom and dad are on Facebook, so that's not cool, So the crowd, the fitness crowd lives on Instagram. It's Instagram and YouTube right now, 2019,
Yeah.
which could be very different in 2020 or 2020.
It's funny because I started my YouTube in 2009.
Yeah.
That's before anybody did anything much on there. And someone said, "You're older. How do you do this?" I said, "I don't feel any older, but I know what I'm doing."
Sure.
And so it worked for me.
Sure.
People come here and they see me shoot a show and I edit and put it together and throw it on YouTube like it's like nothing to me.
Yeah.
But I made myself a format on how to do it.
Right.
Then other people come over and say, "I want to do my own show. Can you show me?" And I've had 3 people ask me. And I said, "I can show you,
Yeah.
but you're not going to do it."
Well, you have the content, you have the experience, and you have the stories, and you have the knowledge.
Right. But they don't have the fortitude to really sit down and learn it. I mean, you got to learn it. You got to learn what you're doing because it's like someone's watched your job shooting, and there's a technique to it, and there's a challenge, and there's an art to it, and you got to be natural at what you do, and it's a gift.
True.
So now the movie has just been released.
Yes, yesterday by surprise, Amazon just put it up, and I thought it was going to come out in a week or 10 days, and I just, after the gym, I go on Amazon Prime, and they put it up early, which kind of took me by surprise because my phone's blowing up, and I'm cutting as many trailers and clips as possible.
Maybe you need a new phone.
Maybe I need a new phone, yeah.
So what do they have to do to see it?
Just go on Prime Video, and you don't have to have a Prime account. Amazon will sell a movie just like they sell toothpaste or a t-shirt, so you don't need to have an account. Just you need an Amazon account. You don't have to have a Prime membership. So anybody in the UK or in America can go on Amazon Prime. Or if you're international, just go on Vimeo on demand. And as long as you have a web browser anywhere in the world, you can download it. You can either buy it or rent it.
Who's in the movie that people would be familiar with?
There's Rick Drasin.
I think I know him.
And nobody else. There's Clark Bartram, Milo Sarchev, Mike Ahern, TJ Hoban, Dr. Jeff Golini, Dr. Chris Lockwood, quite a few, and they'll be angry at me, but we have like 30, 31 people.
Yeah, you have a lot of people on there.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
So you're excited?
I'm very excited, yeah. In Hollywood, Hollywood's a little snotty, and they kind of look down on what level you're on. And if you say you're a commercial director, you do commercials, okay, that's one thing, that's cute. But you're not really a director, right? But if you have a movie, you're a director. Even if it's a crappy movie, if it looks horrible, but it's a feature, oh, you're a feature director, okay. But you're not a commercial director.
No, but that's how it is exactly. Because if you were a feature film actor, you never did TV.
Exactly.
Never.
I know, right?
But now they're doing TV because they want the money.
But what about a commercial actor?
Never do. No,
He can make 10 times the amount of money that some guys doing in feature films.
Absolutely.
But you're not even that. You're doing commercials.
Yeah, you're not an actor.
Yeah. So
if you're doing print jobs, it's even worse.
Oh yeah, that doesn't count.
And if you're
that doesn't count at all.
If you're an extra, you might as well go home.
No.
People come to me and say, "I'm working as an extra." Good for you.
Yeah.
So you're playing.
Just say waiter and you're auditioning. That sounds better.
You're playing a table. Is this gonna go to any movie houses?
I don't think so. I didn't design it that way, and I know my ego would love to see it on the big screen. I just didn't design it to be seen in a theater. It's something that you should watch streaming, and it's 2 hours. So I think you can watch, half of it on your phone, half of it on your laptop, then the other half, 3 halves, on
the third there somewhere
on your TV. So I just wanted to give a lot of content. So again, I didn't really envision it being in the theaters. I could cut it down to an hour and a half if needed, though.
I don't know. All movies nowadays are over 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because I know I have to get up and pee 3 times.
That's how you time things, right?
I can't sit that long, yeah. When you say streaming, just for knowledge, what does streaming actually mean?
Well, on SVOD or TVOD, streaming video on demand, like Netflix or Hulu, where you pay a subscription every month and you just see whatever you want. Or there's a TVOD, that's a transactional video on demand, so you just pay to buy or rent, and you can be on Amazon Prime or Vimeo, I think Crackle, I'm not sure, but they're the major ones.
Yeah. And it's the streaming.
They're all streaming in the sense that you don't buy a physical DVD. Okay. You pay with your card, and you just watch it on whatever device you want.
Just watch it stream by.
You watch it stream by.
Interesting. I know.
You never hold it in your hand, it just streams away.
Yeah.
You get to watch it.
Yeah. I've had dates like that.
Yeah. You get to watch.
They stream by. So what's the next big plan? They got something else coming up?
I'm just going to complete the promotions for the film. That'll probably take another couple months. And I'm shooting a new documentary series called Access Muscle. So the idea is to not continue making feature films per se, but to do something that is ongoing. And I've created Access Muscle. Access Muscle is the first documentary series that you can watch in episodes. So the first 3 episodes are, number 1, the gym. What is this gym culture we talk about? It's a very recent thing. It's different from athletes getting together and swimming or playing tennis. The gym culture is its own little universe. And no one's done a documentary on that probably since Pumping Iron. Nobody's talked about the gym really as its own environment and its own characters and how that evolved, And the gyms today are completely different from the gyms in the 70s and 80s.
There's so many gyms to pick from that are so different today. The whole environment is different. Everything's different. Just the vibe when you walk in is different.
Right. So there's an evolution there too, right? So no one's really explained that. And I think that's really fascinating. So I get to do all the nostalgia and the modern gym.
If you go to Gold's and then you go to Gold's, it's not there now, but if you went to the original, then you went to where they moved on 2nd Street, it was a different vibe. And now they're on Hampton, it's totally different.
Right, completely.
Completely different group of people, and the whole thing is different. And
it's a different workout experience too.
Totally,
right? Yeah. So the second episode is on female fitness. Again, there hasn't been a real documentary on female fitness since Pumping Iron 2 in 1981 probably. So I'm not going to focus too much on the competitive side because I think that's a micro niche. I think most women want to know how to work out and what does it mean to go into a gym and work out with weights, because that can be intimidating.
Yes.
But a lot of, even the top pros that I've interviewed already, Miss Olympias, I don't have them talk about how they prep and the egg whites and the chicken breasts. It's why do they work out in the gym instead of running? Well, why do they work out in the gym instead of doing push-ups at home? There's a reason why they go to the gym. And what advice do they have for women who want to get better, but they don't want to walk into a gym because they think there's a bunch of meatheads looking at each other and throwing barbells around.
And they also think they're going to get huge.
And they think they're going to be bullied and looked at. And the reality is, no one's going to look at your body. They're looking at their own. They're there for their workout. No one's going to judge you.
They're the only ones with their cell phones looking at their butts in the mirror.
There's that too.
If you've seen one butt like that, you've seen 100. You've seen them all. That's enough.
Yeah,
just be
it's
yourself.
always like the first time. And the third episode is on personal trainers. So I'm going to explain how that profession evolved And you mentioned that Zabel actually trained Elvis Presley.
He did.
So I need to find something, a photo or something like that.
And Ferrigno trained Michael Jackson.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. See, those are fascinating stories.
There might be pictures of that. I think I've seen some, yeah.
See, that's pretty cool. So the whole personal trainer profession, that evolved from nothing. I think it started in the studio system.
It started with gym instructors.
Gym instructors, okay.
Back in the days of Jack LaLanne and people like that, I worked for them.
Right.
They had health clubs, and they'd hire you as an instructor.
Mm-hmm.
And as an instructor, they give you a workout card, and this is what you give the guy who joins. And it has all the exercises, 2 sets of each, and you give everybody the same medicine. I said, I don't like that. I told the owner of the gym, I said, I don't like that. I wouldn't give everybody the same workout. They can't, it's not suited for them. I'm going to restructure. He says, no, you can't do that. This is your job. This is what you have to do. So I restructured it, and people started getting results. I didn't believe in the same thing all the time, but those gyms were health clubs, and people didn't know anything about anything. They just come and sign up, and they do whatever you told them.
But what about the personal trainer that you hired?
At that time, there was none. When I moved down to Venice, the only personal trainer was Zabel.
Right.
And then, like I said, Lou started doing Michael Jackson. There were very few, if any.
The oldest one that I can remember is Franco training Stallone, one-on-one.
Right.
Because there was the instructor, and there was the head of the gym, and you got advice from them. But this one-on-one training, the first time I saw it, I was a teenager, and that was Franco training.
You know who else was doing that? George Papasuk. Do you remember George Papasuk?
No.
He trained Stallone, too. He had the gym on Olympic and 17th, I believe. He built his own. He was a mechanic, and he built his own gym, which was everything was like yellow or orange in there. The equipment was perfect. Even the seated cables, the handles would roll as you pulled them.
Really?
Oh, it was really nice. But he'd close the gym down for an hour a day to do Stallone.
Right.
Otherwise, you could come and work out. That didn't matter.
So that one-on-one is just a very recent thing. It didn't exist in the gym. It was kind of like, you help me, I help you, and you ask a couple of questions. You didn't have a trainer telling you or counting your reps, right?
No, Jeff Bridges came in and trained with Arnold because they were doing that movie together.
Yeah.
And that's the reason that came about. Then Tommy Chong would come in and train with some people.
Yeah. But fast forward to now, where these Instagram models, they call themselves fitness models, they're training people globally.
Yes.
Through ebooks.
Yeah.
So there's an evolution, a story to tell. Good and bad. Good in the sense that you can teach fitness to everybody on the globe.
Yeah.
Maybe bad because maybe you're not too qualified to tell people what to do.
Not only that, you don't have your hands on with them.
And you don't need a certification. You're just taking money through PayPal.
Well, you didn't.
So that's the whole story.
You didn't need to be certified when I was doing it, and I had Jeff Goldblum.
Okay.
I had Gene Simmons, Chuck Negron from Three Dog Night, and Daniel Baldwin, and Eric Estrada.
But you're an exception because you knew.
I knew what I was doing.
Yeah. You had the knowledge.
Yeah.
Some people don't have the knowledge and they're teaching. And it's okay if they get results, but until they get hurt, that's a different issue.
I go to Eric's house to train him, and I go through he says in my kitchen, go through my drawer and just get rid of anything you don't want me to eat. He had one full drawer full of candy bars.
Oh, man. So
tons
of
those,
right?
Threw them out. He
Yeah.
said, you can't eat these. I like them. I said, no. It's not part of the program.
No.
So
maybe on the weekends.
Yeah. But that was kind of fun. I mean, it was good money, but they're out of town a lot, so you're just not always getting it when you want it.
Sure.
But I think that'd be a good idea for you.
Thank you. And it's an ongoing thing. I can do it all the time. They're 1-hour episodes, so it's kind of like a mini movie. So I'm shooting the first 3 episodes now. I think I can release the first one in January.
Where are you shooting it?
All over. I'm going to be going to Italy, probably Australia, mostly here in Los Angeles, though.
At some in particular gym?
Doesn't really matter. It just, I want the stories. It can be in the guy's living room or gym. I've shot a lot in the gyms just because we're talking about fitness. But the narrative has to be there. The story has to be there.
Yeah, I used my wrestling ring for fitness training too, as well. Because not that they wanted to learn how to wrestle, but they wanted to get in shape.
Right.
So by running those ropes and tumbling and running and tumbling and going here and going there and running back and forth and doing flips and coming back, that's a terrific aerobic workout.
Oh, sure.
I mean, it wears you out real quick.
Yeah.
So I would sometimes bring people in that wanted to do that, and they enjoyed it. And then they could go to do the weights on their own.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a real enlightenment.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
I just announced Access Muscle on your show. I just realized that. You're the first to know.
And certainly not the last.
No. Well, I've been filming since January.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm kind of sneaky.
You keep busy.
Yes.
Thank you, Alex, for coming.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
Thank all of you for watching. Make sure you get out there and watch the movie SUPPS. I mean, I've seen it, and it's just really going to enlighten you on the supplement world, where it started, where it went, how it works, all the stuff that came about. It was here and then. Changed a lot over the time.
Thank you.
It's got hot stuff.
Hot stuff, too. Hot stuff's in there.
Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.
Okay.
Hope you enjoyed the video brought to you by Old School Labs. Use my discount code DRASIN12 on the link below at oldschoollabs.com.
Hey everyone, now you can have the Gold's Gym logo drawn by me, the artist Rick Drasin, personalized and made out to you and signed by me to frame and put on your gym wall or wherever you see fit to do so. It's a piece of bodybuilding history. It will never be duplicated again. It's the largest selling icon t-shirt logo in the world, and I'm the guy that drew it, and I will draw it for you. Just go to my website, rickdrasin.com, and order there. You can pay through PayPal, and it'll be sent out right away. And be sure to watch Rick's Corner for all the videos on bodybuilding, nutrition, fitness, pro wrestling, and anything that suits your interest as far as getting physically fit and being the best you can be from the golden era of bodybuilding.
It's Rick Drasin. He's the equalizer, baby. See you next time.